Oh, you know, like I said, I grew up loving that music and still love it. And we're going to sing another song here, and then we'll turn it back over to Pastor Sarah. I never expected, growing up listening to those records that Mom had at the house, how Southern Gospel and I were going to cross paths later on in life. But the Lord knew. One Sunday evening, we were coming back from a singing. I think we were in North Carolina. We were coming back. It was the middle of the night, late. Everybody was asleep but me. I was driving, and I was kind of alone with my thoughts. And this song started coming on. I had this kind of mental picture that showed up, and this song came right behind it. And within about a half an hour, this song was done. Went back to Nashville, went in the recording studio, did a little demo of this song like we always did. You know, nothing unusual about that. But a few weeks later, through a friend of an acquaintance, and I'm not really sure how many hands touched it to get there, but that little old demo CD that we had made ended up in the hands of Bill Gaither's record company. Y'all heard of him, I understand. Well, they called me and said, man, we've got this group that's really needing a special song. And they've heard this one of yours, and they'd like to record it. Would that be all right? Well, I fasted and prayed for 2 or 3 seconds. I'm kidding. No, I mean, of course I said yes. I mean, like I said, growing up, loving that music and what it, you know, how it touched my heart, I was tickled to death to have a Sure Enough Southern Gospel group sing something I'd written. Well, a few weeks went by, they called again. They said, well, man, the guys that recorded the song, they love it, we love it. So this is going to be the title of the new album. This is going to be the first song that we send out to radio. And that's exactly what happened. The radio started playing it. And people who had heard me sing it at church said, man, I heard your song on the radio today. And now, I understand this was an exciting time for me, for us, but I'd never experienced anything like this. So I didn't really know at this point what the Lord was doing. Y'all know sometimes walking with the Lord is like putting together a jigsaw puzzle. And He's got the box top. And all you get is this little puzzle piece, you know, and you don't even know which way to twist it at first. But when you give it enough time and you string enough of those pieces together, then you can start to see the big picture that He saw all along. And that's what He was giving me, these little puzzle pieces. You know, I'd hear it on the radio and things like that. We'd watch it on the charts. And well, a few months went by, that little song, that little 30 minutes in the middle of the night song became that group's first ever #1 song. And then it was named Song of the Year. And then it made the list of the top 35 Southern Gospel songs of all time. And I still didn't have a clue. I couldn't figure it out. I mean, they sent me the list of the top 35, Singing News, top 35 Southern Gospel songs of all time. And on that list was He Touched Me, and Beulah Land, and The Lighthouse, and Midnight Cry. And these songs that I have sung, that have just, I just get glory bumps when I sing them. Sung them my whole life. And then mine was on that list. And as proud as I was of that little song, y'all, it just didn't affect me that way. And I couldn't figure out what the big fuss was about. It just, to me, didn't belong on that list. But I went to the Quartet Convention, and like I said, got the award for Song of the Year. And I was leaving the building when a little lady stopped me. She got right in my way between me and the door. And wiping tears out of her eyes, she said, I want you to know, your song got me through chemo. Well, I didn't know how to respond to that. What do you say to that? So I just hugged her and cried. But that was really when the floodgates opened up, and that's when the Lord started sending me all kinds of people through conversations and through emails and phone calls whose lives had been in ways dramatically affected by that little song. There was a lady who emailed me, and for the first time in a long time, I read that email again this week. I'll always keep it. She had been praying for her lost husband for decades, not giving up. He didn't want any part of it. And even as his health began to deteriorate, and he was having heart problems and things, he kept drinking and he kept smoking and he kept abusing his body. And she just kept praying, and he didn't want any part of it. But one day he's watching the Gaithers on television, and this song came on. And she said he called me in, and they started talking about it. And she said when it got to the second verse, that second verse, he just broke down. and started sobbing these huge, huge sobs. And she said for the first time ever in her life, she saw his heart broke for who he was. And she said that was the moment that his life started to change. And he spent the next 2 years of his life sitting with her and serving in that same little church where she prayed for him all those years until he passed away. And now she knows she will see him again because of what started with this little old song. Well, folks, that's when the big picture became clear to me. That's when I certainly understood what the Lord wanted me to know and what has become my testimony as we travel. And the big picture is that everyone in this room has been consciously created by God Himself. It was He that determined the color of your eyes. It was He that decided how tall you'd be. And then He placed within you gifts and talents and skills and desires and a personality that is uniquely you. There has never been one just like you before. There will never be one just like you again. You are a God original. And then He's placed you at this place and at this time, and He knows the people that you know, and He knows the people in your circle that you work with or that you live near, that's in your family. And I guarantee you there are people that you know that are hurting and that are lost and that are searching. And maybe they're abusing their life with alcohol or other things that they're trying to fill that void. And they won't come here. They won't come listen to a concert. They won't come hear a message. But they like you, and they trust you, and they confide in you. And He's placed within you the ability to reach out to that person and change a life. There's lots of things I wish I could do that I can't do. For whatever reason, writing songs is something that He allowed me to do. And I'll always be grateful for that opportunity to have conversations with people whose lives were changed because of at least that one moment in my life when I allowed God to use me in the way that I was designed without getting in His way. You know, we are still the tool that He chooses to use to reach a lost and dying world for Jesus, as pathetic as we are. So you can take all that stuff about, well, I can't sing and I can't preach and I'm not old enough and I'm too old, and you can take all that and you can set it at the curb because, folks, you are the perfect tool to reach the people inside your circle of influence. And He's put you there. We're going to sing you the song. Like I said, this if you listen to Southern Gospel, you may not recognize it because this is no